All right, so welcome to episode 13 of...
From the Stands.
You're looking at me like I'm insane. What the hell? From the Stands PNW. We are the dirt track racing podcast here in the Pacific Northwest. Well, I guess I should preface that differently. We are the third ranked podcast in the Pacific Northwest currently.
Based off of AI.
Based off of Google's AI BS stuff. So, can I still say we're the dirt track racing podcast?
Yeah.
Because I believe that we are the.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to say it just officially again, real quick. Welcome to From the Stands PNW. We are the dirt track racing podcast here in the Pacific Northwest. Our home tracks are Deming Speedway, Skagit Speedway, Skagit Quarter Midgets, soon to be the Nora RC Dirt Oval, soon to be.
Maybe. And who else knows what's coming?
Maybe. I am the host, Jimmy. And if you are looking to race me on iRacing, I am Jimmy the Sears. Well, no, just Jimmy Sears, not the. There's no the in there.
Way to confuse people right away.
But you can only race me if it's micro sprints, winged micro sprints right at this moment.
You got a ways to go, huh?
A little bit, yeah. So, I want to do a quick shout out to Alfonso Living Food in Naples. He was one of my very first TikTok channels I ever watched. He specializes in Italy, warm breaded sandwiches. It was the last thing I saw before we came in, so I thought I'd give him a shout out.
It's most random shit.
We didn't like the third ranked podcast thing, so.
Holy hell.
So, yeah, Alfonso.
Oh.
Good job.
Don't be scared to say hi to us.
Who's scared to say hi to us?
Grady.
Who?
Grady.
Why would Grady be scared?
He said he saw us yesterday at Skagit. Too scared to say hi.
Never be scared to say hi to us. If you would have said hi, I would have had a sticker for you. Stacy's crying right now. What is wrong with you?
Holy moly, this is going to be...
I look meaner than I really am. I'm really a nice guy, I promise. I know I look like kind of a mean butthole, but I'm not, I promise. So let's get into, I'm excited to get into this episode for two reasons. One, we were back to the Quarter Midgets at Skagit, which is always entertaining, but there were some life lessons that we encountered at that track. And getting back to Skagit, kind of as a fan, I got to sit and just enjoy the races this time. We're not working in the pits. We're not getting interviews. I got to catch up with Nick. Just enjoyed it. And that was nice. It felt good.
Did you write anything down in your book?
I wrote two things down. That's it.
And if you know Jimmy and have seen him around the racetrack,
I take a lot of notes.
Very odd.
So Skagit, I did not. I wrote two things. That's it. You want to hear what they are?
Yeah.
So when I was sitting in line, because we went through the normal line this time. We were just sitting being normal fans, right? Because we are from the stands, and that's where we were, in the stands. Yes. Somebody was wearing a shirt, very interesting. And so I wrote it down. And the shirt said, "Kill your local rapist." It was odd choice of a shirt, but saw it. Now, I have a question. Do you think I would be considered a journalist?
Yes.
Okay, my journalistic mind said, write that down and keep tabs on that individual, which I did. And then the other thing, because I saw something so freaking oddball, I watched the Hornet truck flip on the front stretch, and so I wrote that down. But I'll have to say, it was, hold on.
O'Keefe.
Yeah, Carson O'Keefe walked away. He was okay, but it looked gnarly. So we had 2 flips. We had a flip at the quarter midget track, which you don't ever see. And we had a flip at what?
We also had Levi's flip.
Did Levi flip?
It went, yeah. If you watch my motion and my photos,
Stop bragging. Seriously?
they aren't the greatest, though.
I know. I saw them. The sparks were more illuminating than
Yes.
the
There was-
damages. So
Yes.
it was a good attempt, though.
Yeah.
Way to go. All right, let's get into our cushion report, brought to you by
Crush, back to the 90s.
Dole, orange juice, pineapple juice, banana, and an adult beverage mixed in.
Something's happening to the mic.
Which ones? These?
It has to be because that's off of TikTok.
Okay. Do you want to just unplug it?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get rid of them.
We'll try the other way.
I don't need to troubleshoot it. Okay.
So for TikTok, we just do this as
Behind the scenes. This is
Behind
not
the
our
scenes.
show. Well, it is our show, but
and then what we do is we splice everything together, produce it all, and that's what is the podcast that is on YouTube and Spotify.
yes.
So, cushion report.
Cushion report. So, like I said, we were back after a week off from Skagit Quarter Midgets. We were back at Skagit Speedway where the 360s, the Sporties, and the Hornets were in town. The racing was fantastic. This coming week, so I will be editing this episode on Monday and have it up Monday evening. So by Tuesday, everybody should be able to see the Skagit episode. I have to still upload part 2 of the Grays Harbor, hoping, praying that we don't get any music violations in that part 2. But it was a 2.5-hour episode, and I had to split it because of download restrictions with Spotify and YouTube. So that will be going up tonight, barring any issues. Friday, we are back at Deming Speedway, and Saturday, we are back in the pits at Skagit with some interviews scheduled. We have 2 so far, right?
Yes.
And we need at least 1 or 2 more that Stacy will be working on the rest of this
one.
week.
I just need to figure out for sure that they're racing there this weekend. So I want to say that it is Cole's dad that reached out to me.
Okay. So.
But we also have Quarter Midget Saturday morning.
And Quarter Midgets, yes. I totally spaced that off. Wow, that's brutal because have we done the threefer?
I feel like we have the first time we did Quarter Midgets.
Oh, man, the Pit Rocket's going to get some workouts in.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So that is our cushion report.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's get into Skagit Quarter Midgets. So I'm going to say right off, everybody that races with Skagit Quarter Midgets, I saw some amazing things, way more amazing than the first time we were there. And the first time we were there blew me away. So Dane is the president of the Skagit Quarter Midgets, right? Mm-hmm. And Kyle Hansen is vice president.
I believe that's correct.
Yes, he is. So Dane gets off of work like early in the morning. In his work clothes is back at the track to regulate the races for all the kids and parents. And then leaves the track to go back to work. So I don't know if the parents really understand how wonderful of a person Dane is and the hard work that he's really putting in, as well as Kyle and everybody else that's associated with that track. Melissa, Trish, she was there. Dasa was there. He was flagging, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So all the people that are running Skagit Quarter Midgets, they're performing feats of miracles for the kids that race in that association. It's an association, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I was mystified watching it because Dane should have been wrecked. He should have been asleep, not working with kids and then going back to work, showing how much the kids and the racing is important. And I'm from man to man, I was utterly impressed with that. And so I really wanted to put that shout out to him.
Definitely. I don't know how he was doing it. He had the same amount of energy that he had when we saw him a couple weeks ago.
He seemed a tad less, but he was still engaging, still doing everything he needed to do. Anyway, so if Dane is watching this, my hat is off to you, man. That was absolutely outstanding. So keep it up. Those kids are lucky to have you. And all of the rest that are there working at Skagit Quarter Midgets. So this was the first time that we got to see quarter midget racing from hot laps to qualifying, like the whole kit and caboodle.
Even to the trophies at the end.
Even all the way through the trophies. And, you know, it's strange to watch, but it is like watching a choreographed ballet of things on and off the track, the switching in the, coming off the chute into the staging area it was, and I remember I specifically wrote, it looks like a choreographed ballet of dirt and spinning wheels and pissed parents and all the above that go along with that. So
that's an interesting way of putting it.
I thought so. That's why I wrote it down.
Yeah.
And that is why I'm the host of the podcast.
Exactly why you're the host.
That's what Google told me. Right off the bat, I was watching one car racing, driving, running during hot laps. And this car was booking it. Now, so this quarter midget driver, his name is Preston. And I cannot remember the number of the car he drove, but it was that maroon and white. Maybe Stacy has it. Anyway, I'm going to continue my thought on him. So watching Preston run during hot laps, that kid is fearless. Like, he is faster than everyone else in the corners that I've ever seen. Straightaways, he's about the same, but in the corners, he's making everything stick. And I made note to talk about the fact that he knows the lines of that track very well, and he uses it to his advantage. And he had hot lap time, I think it was in under 9.8 for his lap, and that's pretty impressive. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Preston because that was the first car I saw running, and it was fun to watch. You all right?
Yep.
All right.
I was just finding that message that I needed to reply back to.
The next car I noticed was the 5E, and it was a winged quarter midget. And I noticed it because, number one, because there's only 3 or 4 that have wings.
Very few wings, yeah.
But there were for sale signs all over the place for it. On the 2 on the car, 1 at the pit stall. And so that was interesting to me because I'd never seen anybody trying to sell, a quarter midget while racing it. Because I would imagine cracking it up during a race would be a bad. So you have to have faith in your driver.
You do.
So, and believe it or not, watching in qualifying under a 9.9 in qualifying, which I made a note to ask and remind me, either you ask Dane or I do, but I'm curious how much the wings actually help with aero with the quarter midgets.
Oh, I saw that as one of your questions.
Is it by looks only, really? Does it really help the cars stick? Because they're not traveling at 410 speed, right? Or
No.
360 or even sporty speed. But I'm curious to know how much aero really affects, if it does at all, if it's just for looks or what. So I like the look of the wing on the cars.
I like the look of them, but we were talking about that. How did they get into that car? Because it adds a little bit more complication in the openings with the wings.
Yeah, and so we have an interview with a driver.
Mm-hmm.
The driver approached us, and come to find out, the driver was the 5E, of the wing sprint car. It was amazing. I noticed it, and then the driver came up to us and asked about the podcast and doing an interview, and so we elected to interview this young driver, and I will let him talk about him and his car. So here is the first interview we had at the Skagit Quarter Midget track.
All right, so we have Levi with us. So, Levi, tell us a little bit about the car you're driving today.
Well, I've been doing pretty good.
It's kind of a tough one, right? Cameras are weird. So, let me ask you a question. How long have you been racing?
5 years.
5 years. What is your favorite part of the race day?
Probably the A main, because then it all comes down to it.
Okay. So, here's a question that kind of relates to that. So, what is harder to do? Passing somebody or keeping somebody behind you?
Passing somebody, because if you're not passing anybody, then if you have a good line, then you can just go ahead and rip it and you can run away in traffic.
That's a great answer. I love that. Outside of your race cars and like your race suit, what is something you have to bring to the racetrack every time?
I would say I'd have to bring my equipment because you can't race without it.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Outside of racing, what do you like to do for fun?
Play sports, football, basketball, baseball. Like to play video games.
What's your go-to video game?
Madden.
Love that. Okay, last question, okay? If your car could talk, what would it complain about?
It would complain about that it's not going fast and it wants it to go faster.
I love that. That is a great answer to that question. So it's Levi here at Skagit Quarter Midget track. So your car is for sale, right? And you are moving up to 600s next year at Deming, right?
Yeah, we might do it maybe next week or next year. It depends. It depends. Maybe a couple times this year, and then I'll be a full-time driver at Deming Speedway.
Wow, so we'll be running into you at Deming quite a bit. So there you go. That's Levi.
All right, there you go. Awesome interview. Loved it. I was a little afraid because we were so bombarded in Grays Harbor. Mm-hmm. Like once that first interview pops, you're like going, because we have to, you have to get to places and do the thing, right?
Yes.
Kids love, for the most part, to be interviewed. When the camera comes on, the mics come out, they want to talk. So, but he was a great interview. Was happy to do it. Very articulate. Loved it. Interview was great. So coming off the Grays Harbor racing, right?
Yeah.
Fresh in my mind because we just reshot the podcast for it, right? And then a day in between before we're back at a quarter midget track. I was able to really kind of articulate the differences between the two. And you think, well, that's easy, right? Stands, hardened shelters, da-da-da. But, the thing that stood out to me the most was Ben Gunderson and the work that he does on the track in between, like, qualifying heats and then mains. I mean, because he's dragging with the four-wheeler and the tiller, right, around that track, like twice, water on the damn thing. And he did it 2 different times. And we didn't see a single person at the Grays Harbor Quarter Midget work on the track at all, unless I missed it. I don't recall.
Yeah.
And I just found that interesting. Why the big differences. The other difference, we talked about this, and we asked Kyle about it late in the day.
The impound aspect.
The difference with the impounding. The amount of cars that Grays Harbor impounds compared to Skagit. I know that they have certain rules because Grays Harbor is associated, with...
As a sanction.
Right,
Yeah.
a sanctioned track, and Skagit is not. But it was a stark difference, and it was interesting.
But we did learn that there is a little impound area when needed. at
If
Skagit.
if there's a fear of cheating or something, they will impound cars to inspect them, and there's a section they'll put cars in case that happens. So yeah. Stacy got a chance, as always, to be down in the middle.
Yes,
She was walking with Jesus that day.
I was.
You weren't paying attention too closely because you were looking through the camera, and you were wearing your what were you wearing on your feet?
My Birkenstocks.
But what kind of Birkenstocks? What line are they?
They start with a G, not a J. There's a Z in there.
So I make fun of Stacy a little bit because she has these Birkenstocks that look like the sandals that Jesus would have wore. And she was standing there, and they're open-toed, and everybody knows you don't wear open-toed things at a racetrack.
I took it from Dane the other day.
So she's standing in, what corner were you went to? You were in corner 3, and a car comes barreling into you. I even saw you pick up the damn fire extinguisher.
Well, it got knocked over. And I was trying to help get the tires put back, too. So
You were trying to use the fire extinguisher, weren't you?
No.
It looked like it.
No,
I saw you tugging on the
I
pin.
was just helping keep things moving.
Okay. But she was unfazed by it, and so we had to pause because there was a wreck, and we had to deal with it. And I had to ask Stacy, are you just not caring because Jesus is walking with you? And lots of people thought that was funny at the time, including her. I don't care what she says. She laughed. About 9 other people laughed, too, and yeah.
I have 2 other pairs of shoes in the car. But I chose to wear my Birkenstocks.
Yeah. So that was interesting. It's a notable part of Skagit Quarter Midget racing this last Saturday. So
Glad I could make the podcast.
yeah, you did. Congratulations. And you didn't have to AI it either.
Nope.
So as we start to get the podcast out and about, let it walk around, take a bow once in a while, do that whole thing. We're lucky enough to have kids who have seen it, and we ended up running into a driver that, cutely asked, "Are you the people on TV?" I think that's what he said, right?
Something very similar.
Something
to that.
very similar to that. And anyway, so that was the number 55, driven by Wyatt. And I loved it because he's little, but to have the guts to, ask resting butthole face that question, I was impressed. So we decided to interview Wyatt. Now, Wyatt, though, is a legit here's the thing that makes my brain trip up with this quarter midget stuff. Wyatt is as tall as my thigh, right? Little guy.
Yeah. I would guess 7.
Watching what he does on the
8.
track, your brain forgets that when they pull off and get out of the car, those are little kids. I'm still getting tripped up on that.
Yeah.
And I'm an experienced race fan, but that still messes me up. So, but Wyatt had a great fast lap and ended up, I'm pretty sure,
He finished second.
in his heat.
Well,
In the main
in
or
the
in the
main,
heat?
in the mains, he finished second.
Okay. Yeah, so impressive. But anyway, so we kind of came up with 5 questions we would ask the young drivers that day, and Wyatt got a chance to answer those. He might be a little hard to hear. I tried to boost the audio a little bit so it makes
Okay.
my voice a little bit louder. So for everybody at home that's watching, kind of be prepared because I want to try to make them heard as much as can. So here is Wyatt, the number 55.
Go on. All right, so we are at Skagit Quarter Midget Track in Alger, and with me I have, what's your name?
Wyatt,
And what car do you drive?
55.
So I'm kind of curious, when you come here, what is your favorite part of the race day?
Racing.
Which part of the racing? You like mains, qualifying? What is the funnest part?
Qualifying.
Oh, I like that. Awesome. What is something when you come to the track that you always have to bring besides your race car?
My racing suit.
That's a good one. So let me ask you this, and I'm curious because I've never driven a race car before. Is it harder to? I got to look at my notes because my brain doesn't function very well. Is it harder passing somebody or keeping them behind you?
Passing people.
That's the hardest? That's awesome. And if your car could talk, what would it complain about?
Flipping.
Flipping? That is awesome. All right, so that's just a little tidbit of Wyatt, the number 55 here at the Skagit Quarter Midget Track.
All right, so that was my interview with Wyatt. And to talk, like, he's a legit, he's a little kid, and he's a legit race car driver. It's crazy to me. Insane.
Yes.
I might be becoming a race car driver soon.
Yeah, we can talk about that a little later.
That's hinting into it. I might be getting behind the wheel.
Yeah, on iRacing.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe.
maybe.
So our first time at Skagit Quarter Midgets, I talked about this young driver who was having his first time at the track. Remember?
Yes. I definitely remember. It was the coolest thing.
And
that
how
we
I was
experienced.
impressed how Dane kind of took control, cleared the track, kind of pep talked him, let him do a lap, wanted to do more. It was one of the most touching things I'd ever seen. And I remember talking, because you don't see that kind of thing in I don't want to say normal racing circles, but kind of the more competitive circles, right?
Yeah.
So we got to see. So that race car driver was Tommy. He drives a 007. And so we got to run into him again for his second week back at the Quarter Midget track. And we got to see him run. Mm-hmm. He took third place.
Yes.
Got a ribbon.
Uh-huh. Made podium for
one of the heats, which is outstanding. And I was like, I have to talk to him because we watched his first lap he ever took. And that kind of milestone, I think, kind of means something. And so that's going to be forever etched in my brain.
And as he's coming off the track, watching Dane's excitement.
Yeah.
And he's like, that is only week 2. And that is why I do this.
Yeah, and it's evident, right? So, so Tommy, he is kind of shy. But once you kind of make him smile, he'll kind of get into the questions. So we interviewed him, and I got to talk to his dad off camera. Super guy. Tommy's lucky. He's got a couple good parents there. So, but he, dad is all excited about Tommy racing and coming into his own a little bit more. And I would imagine as each week passes the rest of the year, he's going to be a little more aggressive, aggressive.
He's going to keep getting more comfortable.
I can't wait to see him run because I'm probably going to try to interview him next week too, just to kind of keep track of his progress. So, anyway, we are going to play the interview with Tommy. We come back. I'll kind of give my impressions, and then we'll move on because we have a few more kind of topics to cover with the Quarter Midgets before we move on to We don't do it at this side of the move on to the other track.
Yeah.
So anyway, here is the interview with Tommy.
You going? All right, so I have with me Tommy, who drives the 007 Quarter Midget. He was new our last time that we were here, and we got to see him do his first lap ever, and now this is his second time at the track. So I got a couple questions for you, bud, okay? So what is your favorite part of the race day here?
I like to go really fast.
That's your favorite part? Yeah, that's awesome. That's good. Race car driver, that's important, right? What do you do when you're not racing? What do you like to do to have fun? You like video games? What kind of video games?
Fortnite.
Fortnite with the 007, I can kind of see that. What is something you always have to bring with you as a race car driver to the track? What can you not leave the house with?
My gloves.
Good. That's a great answer. I love that. So let me ask you this. Is it harder to pass somebody, or is it harder to keep them behind you?
It's hard to pass them.
Okay, great. Love that. And if your car could talk, what would it complain about?
I have no idea.
That is a great answer. That is awesome. So that is Tommy of the 007 here at Skagit Quarter Midgets.
All right, so I'm curious. Let me ask you this. His car is numbered 007.
Yes.
James Bond. James Bond it's almost like Superman, right? Mild-mannered reporter in a business suit. When he takes it off, he's Superman, right? Under James Bond's facade, he's a super agent. I think Tommy kind of resembles that a little bit in his car number. Because he's kind of shy, right? Like on the track, I mean, you're shoving the camera and microphones in his face. I mean, what do you expect? But
He kind of seemed like a reserved kid.
But the 007, because when he gets on the track and what we saw him do, it's like he's a shy little boy in normal life. But, you know, in that car, the 007, he's James Bond, right? That's kind of how my impression is of it.
Yeah, he made reference to Fortnite.
That was one of his, because I want to get these kids to talk about something other than racing that they like to do. And he was, I believe, Fortnite.
So when I did a quick little search, because I don't know Fortnite,
I don't either.
it looks like James Bond is part of a Fortnite skin.
Oh, snap.
So,
Yeah. All right.
yes.
I believe that. I think, and here's the thing, and people don't quite realize. People don't realize car colors and numbers have way more meaning to race car drivers than the average person thinks. I would willing to bet that 95% of the cars out there with schemes and numbers are intentional.
Very.
So, anyway. All right. Are we good?
We are good.
All right, so when we got to the quarter midget track and I'm getting the lay of the land, I noticed Preston. I noticed the winged 5E. And right on the tail of that, my pole position, favorite color scheme brain started going off. And I made a faux pas in my speech when we started that interview, because it's snow camo, not.
Yeah.
I called it a snow camel.
Yes.
Snow camo, but it was awesome. The color scheme was bad A. Because there's going to be kids watching this one. I'm trying to keep it clean.
Keep it family friendly.
Bad A. And so I wanted to interview that driver. We made a note of it. And guess who came up to me, wanted to talk?
He did.
That is right.
Nash.
The number of the 99N.
Yep.
N for Nash, right? So we did an interview with him. And one of my favorites, I think, very articulate. He thinks about his answers, which I love. It's not like some drivers are very reactive to questions. He put some thought into what he was saying, like each one. He didn't. It was almost like he had a brand he was protecting, and I love that because that's hard to do. And he's driving 2 cars,
Yeah.
which is insane.
He was very articulate.
Yes. So here is the interview with him. And then when we come back, I had a chance to watch him run. And we'll give my impressions. And then we'll move on to a real hard-working quarter midget driver. I noticed. Made note of it. So anyway, here is the interview with the 99N.
It's the 99N in the snow camo. And then you drive. So tell us a little bit about your cars.
So yeah, first we have that one's a 120cc. So then yeah, I have a few friends in that class, and this one's a 160. Today, one of my friends isn't here today, so that means we guaranteed to get a trophy if you don't really spin out or to get black flagged.
So basically keep it together and just finish it and you're good to go, right? So what is your favorite part of the race day?
Probably you get to like hang out with your friends, have fun, and then when you're racing, like everybody's friends still. And then like some people are still competitive, like they try to crash other people, but I'm just like, I be nice with my friends and I just go around them, and yeah.
That's pretty good. That's probably the best answer I've heard of that question yet. So good job. What do you like to do when you're not racing?
Most likely like to go outside, explore nature, sometimes play a little bit of video games, go to friends' houses, hang out.
What's your go-to video game?
Probably Roblox.
Okay, nice. So what is something you always have to bring with you to the racetrack besides your race cars?
Probably my suit, because without my suit I can't race, because I need my helmet so I can't really break my head, and then my neck collar so then it like keeps my helmet on, and also I need my racing suit so if it catches on fire then it's fire protected. I have a few seconds instead of, then yeah.
So let me ask you this. So what is harder to do, passing somebody or keeping somebody behind you?
It's kind of a hard question because both require, like passing somebody, you have to like find the perfect moment where they make a mistake or they're like off a little bit, and then you have to floor it, like you have to get up the speed and floor it. And then keeping somebody behind you, you have to like kind of turn a little bit so then they don't have that mistake option to go through and pass.
Wow, that's an awesome answer. I love that. If your car could talk, what would it complain about?
Probably that I hit the metal.
So can I shout out Alfonso Living Food again?
No.
In Naples, Italy.
No.
You know, if we ever go to Italy and I'm eating his sandwich.
That's fine, but I don't have a trip to Italy planned.
By the way, nobody made a comment about my...
Well, I was going to talk about that in the Skagit.
Okay.
Way to jump ahead.
So
That damn list is out of the window.
Yeah, the 99N, great race car driver. He's driving some powerful race cars, by the way. I mean, is that the high? No, the Winged is the highest, right? That's considered the Outlaw. Is that correct? I'm still funny on the division thing.
We gotta look. We gotta do some research.
Yeah,
on
I got to study that up a little bit more. Great race car driver, love it. So
him and Levi. Was it Levi at the one that had the car for sale? I want to make sure. Yes. They will be at Deming in the next year or two,
yeah,
if not sooner.
yeah. The for sale car. Was it Ethan or Levi? I have to go back now and check my note. I don't remember what. And I watched the interview just before we did this too.
Well, the name of the car wasn't the name of the driver.
Correct.
I want to say.
But if it is Levi, which I'm pretty sure it was, he will be. I mean, the idea is to move to a 600 before the year is over. right? And then run 600. Was it restricted or open? I don't remember what they were moving to.
Most likely restricted.
Restricted. Is there a rule with new kids? Can they go right to an open? That might be a Paul question.
Yeah.
On Friday. Is he back Friday, you think?
Yeah, he should be.
Okay. Shout out Kyle Larson, by the way. Won Knoxville Nationals. Some people are pissed. Some are happy. Anyway, just throwing that out there. Anyway, so yeah. See him at Deming before the season is out.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope he brings the snow camo with him. I did that on purpose, by the way. All right. So, one of the most hardest working quarter midget drivers I'd ever seen was driving the number 90. I don't remember who that driver was, as I'm getting to my age and the amount of drivers and teams that we meet. Every time we're at a track, it is mind-blowing. But watching this young person trying to find the right line to get around folks, going up high, back down low, to the point where you're bouncing off walls. It was impressive, but yet nail-biting because there were times he was barely holding on to that thing. And the one thing I noticed, seeing him him or her, I don't know who was behind the wheel, but the driver, the number 90, working so hard to get around cars, it made you really pay attention to the line that the kids are taking when they're on the track. And I noticed that most of the kids, if not 90% of them, are diving for the inside line every lap. The only line they know is right hugging the turns. And when they get into the middle, they don't kind of have that feel for how to drive the middle of the turns. And you see them bouncing off walls, spinning out, because once they can't take the line that they know, which is the inside part, they almost panic and they're not as calculating in the middle of a turn than they are. Mm-hmm. And I think that is I think if you were doing play days or, practices, trying to teach some of these drivers how to race the middle of the turns, I think, is a good skill.
Yeah.
So.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm not a race car driver, but soon to be. But, yeah. Would it be weird if I just pull up to the house with a 410 on a trailer and be like, yeah, you're crew chief in my new rig and we're doing the thing?
Yeah, that would be a hot mess.
Yeah, it would.
Is that what you name it? Hot Mess Express Motorsports? Because anything with the two of us, that would be a hot mess.
It would be either that or, it would be the LF, the ALF Express, the Alfonso Living Food Express.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, Naples, Italy. Picture of just a sliced piece of bread.
The guy that doesn't like a lot of Italian food.
You ever watch his sandwich making?
No.
It is legit. It makes me hungry for Jersey Mike's every time I see it. All right. So, we're going to talk about an interesting piece of race controversy. We have enough tape?
Yes.
When we get done with the controversy, we'll take a break, and then we'll get into the next section. But the controversy was, and this was in one of the mains, there was a car that had entered the work area. They were able to spatchcock it together, right? Get it back.
That was the one with the little blue painter's tape to hold
It had
the
the
hood on.
painter's tape. Back in 20 years ago, it would have been duct tape, but we're more environmentally friendly these days, so it was painter's tape. Painter's tape got the car back. I think it had a bent radius rod, and that's something I learned at the Quarter Midget track, what those are. And they got it replaced, got the thing back out, turning laps, and the car on its own power pulled into the center of the track. And I was standing next to Kyle when this happened because we were just, talking. And he was he was kind of in charge, choreographing the race at the time, right?
The staging area, yeah.
Usually what Dane was doing, but Dane was flagging. And pulls into the center of the track, and parents start freaking out. Where's the yellow? Where's the yellow? And Kyle and I kind of looked at each other like, what? And so Kyle went up and talked to one of the parents, and I don't know exactly what was said. Like, I mean, because cars are running, I didn't overhear the conversation completely. But this parent was upset that there wasn't a yellow flag thrown. And Kyle was explaining what the rules are. Any other track, any other race, Kyle races midgets, Northwest Focus Midget. If he pulls into the center.
And a sporty now.
And you just gave that away. I was saving it.
Oh, sorry.
I'm talking about another sandwich guy next segment then. But he made we talked about this, and everybody knows you pull in under your own power, there's no yellow. Now the parent apparently said that it was a safety concern. But the problem is there's a certain part of the track that everybody's trained that if you have a safety problem, you stop at this certain area, right? And then you will throw the yellow. And depending on what the safety concern is, you won't be penalized for that yellow like you would if you spun out or something, right? And yeah, I mean, it's just the way it is. But they were upset that the race kept going, and it was a big controversy.
It was.
There were some pissed parents. They were up, But it makes sense. I mean, you have to teach these drivers at some point, right? Because a 600 restricted does that. Let's say you graduate from quarter midgets. And let's just go junior sprint. It's the same place. You know where to stop. There's a certain place at Deming where you stop for safety issues.
Yeah.
You don't do that, and you're in a main event, and you pull off into the center of that track, race is going to keep going. So if you want a yellow thrown, either you cause it or stop where you need to, and they'll throw the yellow.
Yeah.
But they need to learn that because it's important strategy, right?
It's a huge strategy.
Yeah, I think.
Know and to learn.
So, yeah. So I think that's important. And, I don't know, maybe go back over it at some point, kind of like make sure the drivers understand that just because you stop, especially in the center when a race is going on, it doesn't mean that the works is shut down, So it was interesting, noteworthy, not something you encounter all the time. So that's why we're talking about it.
But I hope that parent, that family, took that opportunity to educate the kid after the fact of what to do in this situation. Because we got to remember that quarter midgets is such a learning process.
Yeah.
And Dane does a great job at that.
But he's got 30 to 40 kids.
Yes. And even I saw Dane go over to the car.
He did.
And bend down and have a conversation with the kid. And I'm guessing that is exactly what Dane, first to check to make sure everything was okay.
Sure.
Check the car.
Sure.
Why did you stop type scenario.
Yeah.
And next time, do this.
Yep.
And so.
The worst thing that you can do in that situation, okay, and I'm talking about being a parent, okay, because we come from the travel softball world, so we know this crappy parent environment, right? The worst thing that you can do as a parent is then to go to your kid and talk all this crap about how that would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
It was everybody else's fault, not the situation that we all saw. I hope that did not happen. I would like to think that most of the parents down there are of doing the right thing. Because what happens is that if you're not a good parent about that, it's like not being a good teammate, right?
Yeah.
And once you start being a bad teammate, it goes south for a lot of people. So
it does.
And the work that they're doing, they don't deserve that. So I'm hoping that the right lessons were taught and things were said and done, and everything will be hunky-dory, peachy king for Saturday. So.
Yeah. But it also goes the next controversy that we are going to talk about.
You want to do that now?
And we have seen it in different tracks.
Okay, but I'm warning you, I have an opinion about this, and some people aren't going to like it. I know how you want everything to be rosy and don't make anyone mad. This might be a problem. Go ahead.
It's a huge safety issue.
It absolutely is.
And we have talked about this over and over and over.
So let's preface this, okay? So quarter midget racing, and I know people, they think they're go-karts. They're not, okay? When there is a red flag on the track, I understand that parents, their kids are precious and you worry about their safety. But my guess is if you're strapping them into fire suits, making them wear Hans devices and fireproof hoods and helmets and have to strap their elbows in so they don't get dinged up when the car rolls, we shouldn't be freaking out completely when a red flag happens.
Yes.
Because red flags at the quarter midget isn't necessarily, like at Skagit Speedway, a red flag is when a car goes upside down or a driver has a medical emergency, right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's red flags. Skagit Quarter Midget, they're a little bit more liberal. If there's a serious wreck and doesn't have to necessarily be a flip, they will throw a red flag. What we've been seeing, and we saw this at Deming on 2 different races, 2 separate weeks, 1,200 flips, 600 open flips, crews.
One gets stuck in the fence.
One lawn darts into the, what kind of fence?
A catch.
There you go. And crews running out on the track and safety personnel going, what? WTF, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, but I'm putting that in there. WTF.
Where's the food?
Well, it's in Naples, Italy, in the Alfonso Living Food.
And I did feed Jimmy before we started this, by the way.
Yeah. So we're seeing it in other tracks, but the minute red flag hits, everybody is swarming that track.
But the problem is these guys, these kids are not, what for one, are not wearing radios.
Correct. Everything order-wise is hand signals only.
Well, but even for this, like, if they're not paying attention to the flags and the lights, and you have a red flag and cars that crash at the end, and there was a roll, and it was between quarter 3 and 4. Well, if you're coming, or corners 1 and 2, if you're coming out of corner 2,
yeah,
and you're not paying attention, you're wrapping that track around as parents now are crossing, because there's nothing in your head, in their ear saying, red flag, stop.
correct. So we had an incident where there was essentially a red flag thrown, right? But I think it was thrown yellow first and then went red. Parents were on the track. A couple of kids did not see the condition change from yellow to red. They were coming around, saw things stopped, had nowhere to go. One parent almost got seriously hurt because one of the quarter midgets slammed into the quarter midget that this parent or whoever that was, I don't even know if it was really a parent, was standing next to it. And all you see is this parent jump out of the way without I mean, that was pretty good reaction time. But if he didn't have the reaction time, that parent is hurt, gets hurt. Dane was not happy.
No.
And he corrected everybody. Do not come running out here until I tell you it is safe. Now, this incident occurred before the car turning into the center happened.
Yes. And this also was the first one before the wreck at the end of the track too that I was talking about.
Correct. The one that we're going to get into elements of that in the next segment, right? So I went from where I'm normally sitting, which if people have seen me, I'm with my trusty Alfonso recipe guide. He does mozzarella and pesto like really good, by the way. Seriously. So I'm sitting there, and where I sit to take notes, parents are lining, crews are lining all behind me. I overhear a lot when I'm at the racetracks.
Mm-hmm. You're in their work area, like you're.
I'm in the work.
You're
I'm
sitting on the divider between the parents.
Yeah,
and the work
I've been
area.
allowed to kind of be in the area that nobody's really supposed to be in, but I do it just because I don't want to have to stand in the damn middle. Because there's not much good seating there.
Yeah.
Unless I can take the pit rocket into the middle next week, which I might have to talk to Dane about, see if he'll let me do that. And then help Ben do the packing and the working the track in. I would take the pit rocket. Oh, God, I would love that. Just 2 laps. Come on. So, and I'm convinced that certain tracks... By this point, people have got to start recognizing what I'm doing. Because I'm the only one at races that are recording anything in a damn book.
Somebody asked you one time if you were thinking of starting a race company.
Oh, what class are you taking notes in? What do you have a kid that? And I was like, I turned him like, are you being serious? Because at the pit meeting, didn't they talk about we were or was that a different track?
That was at Grace.
Okay. So I'm sitting there, and parents start talking crap. I can only take so much before, and Stacy knows this, before I blow up, before I lose my patience and lose my temper and make things extremely difficult for many around me. And I knew, because I'm still new at this track, that people don't know me well enough, that if I blow up and act like a crazy person, not going to go well for us. So I got up and went and stood by Kyle at the staging area. And that's where we started having our conversation, because I knew that I couldn't take any more of the crap talking that was going on. So we need to be better, Dane cannot have people get hurt, because it takes one person to get hurt, and the way everybody is and how caring everybody is, one lawsuit, quarter midgets go away forever.
Yeah.
You really
Even
want
though
to...
you're signing a waiver when you buy your pit
it doesn't
pass,
matter. You're going to sign a waiver and still try to sue them.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, you can have people that don't cross the street in a crosswalk where it says do not cross. And if they stand in the middle of the road and you still hit them, you can still be sued and still get a judgment against you. They don't need that. They're not. I mean, I understand maybe Skagit Speedway's got lawyers waiting in the wings in case something happens, but a quarter midget track, come on.
No.
So we got to be a little bit better, okay? I don't mind parents getting upset over something and going to the officials immediately and having it out with them. It's the crap talking that bugs me.
But even that, should be like the 24-hour rule, like in sports.
Well, but see, racing kind of gets an exemption because of the money and the hot-headedness. Here's the thing. If the parent or whoever was upset with the yellow flag, right? Instead of bitching and complaining, right, the best thing to do would be to go immediately to the official. And after he first was upset, he went to Kyle, and Kyle explained it to him. That's how that should go, right? So if Dane snaps, because Dane doesn't walk around yelling at everybody.
No.
If he snaps and says, don't come onto the track unless I invite you or tell you it's safe, it's for a reason, right?
Yeah.
He's not this knuckle dragging screaming at everybody constantly. He's not that guy. So don't put him in that class 1 minute because he's trying to make sure that nobody gets freaking killed. That's not a bad thing.
No.
And don't crap talk him the entire time after that happens. It upsets me because it doesn't need to happen. I understand tempers go, and people are going to have different opinions and different ideas, and they're going to hear me talk about this and go, that's not how it happened. Yes, it did. You know, and if people start to argue with me about what I'm recalling, I'm going to start turning cameras on everybody all the time. You know,
You're just going to walk around with your metas going?
pretty much. I got to do it at Skagit. So, you know, we just got to be a little bit better, you know. We almost saw a parent get hurt, and that would have been bad.
Yeah. You don't want anybody to get hurt. Kids are in the car and the parents do the job, hopefully, to make sure that they're safe. And once they get on the track and they're pushed off,
They're Danes at that point.
You need to be hands off. You need to sit your butt down in the grandstands and watch.
Now, I give all these parents credit. When a car breaks, everybody comes to the work area to help. That's awesome. I love that.
Oh, somebody needed something in there. There was 5 of them running across the pits at the end, looking for the right size
and
of something.
Dad's pushing cars off after a red flag. That's fine, too. When Dane says, all right, let's go, then everybody can come on and do the thing. But people need to understand, if he's snapping at you, it's for a reason. And my guess is it's not the first time that he's had to do that.
And let's remember that he's there volunteering his time when he has a kid racing.
He's putting equal. I mean, here's the thing. I didn't know that he had, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know Wyatt was his kid and Melissa's kid. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Until I saw him loading Wyatt's car.
Yeah.
And I kind of put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Because he is with other drivers.
Yeah.
And Melissa's with other drivers more than Wyatt.
And I'm going to jump ahead on this. I want to give a big shout out to Maddie Hoppy. She was a crew chief.
She was a rock star.
Between Wyatt and her brother Hudson. And they raced the same class.
Yeah.
And she was checking air pressure tires on both
Pushing
of them.
off.
Pushing off. You know.
She has bad knees too, so that's brutal. But that's what she told me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know
what were you going to tell me? You want me to get out the Naples thing again?
No.
No, I asked her. I'm like, hey, you're pushing off. She was like, that was hard. I'm like, why? He goes, I have bad knees. I'm like, wow, that's ouch. I have bad lower half, so I know what that's like.
And I know that her sister was racing at the big show.
No, we don't do that. Was racing at Skagit Speedway.
Skagit Speedway.
We don't do that.
And so she took on the kind of replaced Dad in that part of being the crew chief.
She was running the team down on Quarter Midgets and doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, she was taking care of Wyatt too.
I just made a promise to her that the next time we interview her, I got to give her the questions ahead of time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which I have I did it with Cookie too, by the way. I'm just putting that out there because I'm interviewing Cookie next week. Only twice I've done that, and I'm uncomfortable doing it, but with those 2, I will do it. But,
okay.
Yeah.
So I want to give a shout out to Maddie.
Yeah,
so,
good for you.
You know, she's down there helping out.
Yeah.
When we come back,
Yes.
we have 1 interview left to do.
We do.
We do.
We do?
We do. We forgot on your notes the fastest red car.
What? What?
How do you forget the best car themed out there on that track?
I am seriously stumped. I don't understand. What is it?
Lightning McQueen.
Oh, yeah. Damn. You got to do better than that.
So,
how about eyes on the car?
When we come back, we are going to wrap up with a new race family.
Yes.
That we got to know.
And that is going to be a few minutes. And seriously, and I'm serious because it'll make me mad. Don't rush me because there's some things I need to get out with that one. Okay.
Okay.
No, don't laugh. I'm being serious.
So,
because
Actually, let's do it this way then. Okay? We're going to go into Ellie right now to Ellie's interview.
Yes.
Okay? She drives 4 different cars.
Yes.
She has
I made the mistake of saying 3. I was corrected. It was 4.
a quarter midget. She has some pavement cars, asphalt cars. She
A legend car?
I think that's her goal is to go legends, but she also has a car that she's going to run at Deming when the quarter midget season ends. And they're all themed Lightning McQueen.
Has she had a sandwich from Alfonso
She might. She
in Naples, Italy? So he uses like the ingredient, like the mozzarella is drippy. Like
we need to change your algorithm on your
drippy
TikTok.
Oh, it was so good. Like the bread steams. Oh, loving it. So good. All right. So when we come back, or we're doing Ellie now?
We're going to do Ellie now. So then when we come back, we'll wrap up her interview and then go
and then
into
move on
our
to
new
our
race family.
Our last, is that our last segment of the
Yes.
Quarter Midgets?
Yes.
All right. There we go.
All right, so we are at the end of our Quarter Midget Saturday run, and I'm here with the 3rd place main winner. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us the number of your race car and what division you race in?
My number on my car is 33E.
What's your name?
My name's Ellie.
And what division do you race in?
Junior 120.
Junior 120, okay. All right, I have 5 really fun questions for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What is your favorite part of the race day?
Going fast.
You just like going fast? Yeah. I saw that on the track today. You finished in 3rd like the way you did. And you spun and still finished 3rd, which was awesome. So what kind of stuff do you like to do when you're not racing?
Play games and also go to parks sometimes.
Nice, okay. Outdoorsy, right? Like to be outdoors, like that. So besides your car, what is something you always have to bring with you to the racetrack? Do you have a favorite thing you like to bring? Something that brings you luck? Anything like that?
Yeah.
What? Your helmet? Your helmet's pretty cool, by the way.
not my helmet.
You want me to just... There is something. We could just move on to the next question. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this, and because of how fast you are, you could probably answer this pretty well. Is it harder passing somebody or keeping somebody behind you?
It's easy and kind of normal sometimes.
So is it easier to pass than it is trying to keep someone behind you? Yeah. Okay, that's a good answer. Love that. Now, if your car could talk, what would it complain about? Not going fast enough?
Going fast.
Not going fast enough? Your car would say, well, we're not going fast enough. Yeah. Yeah. I would guess that by your Lightning McQueen. So she races 3 different, is that right? Has 3 different cars. In the Lightning McQueen, 4 different cars. And because we're a Disney family, so we love seeing the Lightning McQueen stuff. So, yeah, anyway, there you go.
All right, so we changed out everything because this next section I'm going to talk about is extremely important. And it's important for several reasons. So number one, when we were at Quarter Midgets, we met a gentleman. I'm curious now. We met a gentleman named Alex. Stacy thought Alex was a member of Trey Stark's crew.
I did.
Thought that Alex's wife was maritally assigned to Trey. Didn't you think that?
No. You're getting it all wrong.
Well, you would throw me under the bus like that, so I'm doing it to you. So But here's the thing. Legitimately, Stacy thought Alex was a member of Trey's crew, and Alex at the Quarter Midget track, wearing jeans, Skagit Speedway crew shirt, right, and the 210 Brewing hat. So I get that. He looks
Okay, so back it up though.
like that.
Holy crap! Where
It's
we
banana
sit,
in my thing. It's good. It's fermented, but it's good.
where we sit at Skagit, his family, the
You-
2 kids,
You're not being completely honest, though.
and his wife
Yes.
sit in front of us.
Yes.
And they all wear, every time, they're all in Trey shirts.
Yes.
Nothing else. When Trey gets podium, they run down.
It was Alfonso. He made the flight
So
just to make
I
me a
had
sandwich.
every assumption
And there's nothing.
that could be that
Assumptions are fine.
he was part of Trey's crew.
Yeah.
And we learned a lot more as we got to know him.
So, outside of Adam, who is my brother from another mother, Dane and Paul, like I have a certain level of men in my life that I would run through a wall for, that I met in the racing community. No, I'm being serious now. Dane would be one, Paul, Adam, Jordan if it was a breakaway wall and it was like super flimsy, like cellophane, maybe,
Like-
if we flipped a coin.
Like the
and-
foam block
right.
walls.
Adam tells me to run through a brick wall. I'm doing it. It's going to hurt like hell, but I'm going to try. Any of the others, right? Alex is in that category for me, and there's a couple reasons why. Number one, he's at the track with his kids. First time they're racing quarter midgets was Saturday. And they were there our first day at Skagit Quarter Midget. So they got to experience us like Helen Keller, bouncing around, feeling our way through.
They were feeling their way through everything too, making sure that that's what they wanted to do.
So they had a great scheme on their cars. Loved it. The electric, the yellow lightning. What am I not?
No.
Am I not lined up? Are we lined up?
Yeah.
All right. Alfonso, pocket square right there in the apron. That's gangster. So, so he got his kids, was able to purchase 2 quarter midgets for his kids because they loved what they were seeing and had a chance to sit in the car and go around the track, right?
Yeah.
And watching him, and I know that there's lots of parents that do this, so it's not like Alex is a phenomenon, because parents help their kids at this track all the time. But we know his story. We don't know the other parent's story.
Yeah.
So that's why we're talking about
Yes.
his story. And watching what he was doing, you interacted with him at the Quarter Midget track way more than I did. And it was cool to see. His kids were racing. He has a daughter and a son. Was both their first times. She was involved in the worst accident of the day, right? The big red flag at the Quarter Midget track.
Yes.
She was a little freaked out because she cracked her car up, but Alex has been around racing quite a while, we found out. Because they sat in front of us at Skagit Speedway that night, and we got to talk quite a bit. It was just cool to see. But it wasn't until we got to Skagit and I got a chance to talk to him
Yeah.
that I learned about the kind of man he is. And I'm going to get into why we're talking about it now. So people have probably heard me talk about in the past that have known me. So I was born at NAS Woodby Island in 1976. And I know if you ask a service member that's stationed there now, because they don't have much of a hospital anymore. They kind of look at you funny. Yes, back in 1976, babies were being birthed at NAS Whidbey Island because my dad was a CB stationed there. So that's where I was born. I've always had, it's always a soft place in my heart, right?
Yeah.
Place I'm born. I went to Skagit Valley College for my paralegal degree. And during my internship, thanks to fellow classmate, and I still remember her name 20 years later, Julie Hammonds, who at the time when she was taking the paralegal class was a retired air traffic controller retired from the Navy. She got me my internship while I was taking paralegal at the base. So I was driving out to NAS Whidbey Island proudly for, it was 6 to 8 months I did my internship. I worked for Lieutenant David Poore, who was the CO of the Trial Service Office. So he was a Navy prosecutor, but he was also a special U.S. assistant attorney. Anyway, I'm getting to the point of the Navy's, I'm fondness for the Navy.
You have a connection.
Correct. Other than I like the Navy. Former Navy brat, the whole 9 yards. Alex is a member of the Navy. He's stationed at Whidbey. When he found out his station, he was going to be stationed for a decent amount of time, he decided to put that effort and energy into his kids to make sure that they got racing because it's something they love and want to do. And that's admirable, and I love that. But listening to the passion of Alex, talking about how much his kids mean to him, coming from travel baseball and world, which we come from that world as well. So we have a lot in common. And then you were off getting alcohol or whatever it is you were doing when National Anthem was happening. And I saw something that made the hair on the back of my neck.
I was getting you your shirt.
Oh, that's right. This one here. Who is it?
Trey.
Who, by the way, congratulations to Trey Starks. Him and his wife had their second baby. He was absent Saturday because of that special event. So throwing that out there. National Anthem is being played. I'm standing behind Alex. Takes off his hat, takes off his sunglasses, puts them down, stands at attention like a good sailor, a service member would do. Almost cried watching it. It was impressive. And my guess is he's either an officer or he's a senior chief. I'm guessing. He's an NCA. He's a non-commissioned officer easily. He's a chief, or he's got to be. He's a legit hero. He's a sailor serving our country, defending us so I can talk about this podcast. And he's making his kids' dreams come true. What is not to be excited and embrace? It almost makes me tear up now to talk about it because he is the epitome of a hero. And not knowing what his service is, what he does in the Navy, but I'm willing to bet money he's done some stuff out in the world that you go, oh my God.
Yeah.
So it's impressive in what he's doing. You see the love he has for his kids. He has for his wife. I got a chance to watch him. I'm an observer by nature. I'm a people watcher. That's what I do. And yeah, Alex is in that 5 category with Adam, Paul, Dane, maybe Jordan. Like every other Wednesday, like on a leap year, but I get emotional and talk about it because we don't get to see, the world is so negative and everybody hates each other and all that is so important. And to see a real living hero standing in front of you, it's a big deal.
Yeah. So watching, and I think before we got there when they were doing some track packing,
Yeah.
I think Callie flipped her car and she was riding the wall. And so there was like huge lessons getting told, and even in the big track.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a hard time breaking myself of that habit after the 1 weekend being gone. But hearing Alex go, that's exactly what that driver did.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
the big drivers wreck their cars
Yes.
too. What you did is, but watching a parent teach a young one that life lesson, and you're seeing the understanding of his daughter. Oh yeah, I get what you're now telling.
Yeah.
We got to see the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Kelly and Bentley, we were going to interview them at the track, and as we kind of got going, the speakers must have got upgraded over the week.
They were loud.
They were so loud.
Is that going to be a black flag?
It is actually.
Oh shit! I probably shouldn't have said that.
And so it was just too hard. So we were going to do it at the end, and he was so tired. Like, I
Yeah.
think he slept all the way through the last main event. And so next week we are going to sit down with that family.
I'm going to talk to Alex, and we're going to interview the two young drivers. He's a special guy, and he's the complete package.
And
So-
and I hope that he'll talk about it during his interview, but he kind of talked about the relationship that he has built, the friendship he has built with Dane.
Yeah.
And
So Wyatt was involved in the wreck of his daughter.
Yeah.
And Alex was impressed because Dane, who Wyatt is Dane's son, Dane was texting Alex to check on how they were doing with that happening because it was upsetting at the time. And that's impressive. People don't realize, like, you look at Skagit Speedway, Deming Speedway, Skagit Quarter Midgets, the amount of terrific people and heroes we have there is wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And he definitely seems like one that will get back and wants to get back to the track.
Yeah, I mean, he sees like Kyle working on the track and offers to help. Of course, Dane and Kyle are going to say, no, we got it.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, let me drag the hose. Just so it's a fire hose essentially. And those things are hard to manage with one guy, right?
Yeah.
Although Ben was tackling it pretty good. I mean, he did get some help, but I think Kyle came and helped him drag the hose. But yeah, I mean, it's incredible. And I don't know if I can take every time I go to the Quarter Midgets or I go to Skagit Speedway and this stuff happens. I don't think my brain can, like, you guys have to stop. Somebody be a jerk. Somebody do something bad, like super bad. Because I don't know if I can take all this heroism and good stuff. It makes me break down on camera, and I'm not supposed to do that. So, yeah.
Okay. So I think that's our Quarter Midget
It's a good way to end it.
section.
All right, so we're going to get into Scary Night at Skagit Speedway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scary Night in particular. So when we come back, we're going to get into Scary Night, but some good racing too. How are we tackling? Let's preview it. Are we racing first, scary first? How are you processing this, producer?
We're going to go through each class.
Okay, so you're going to still wear the rookie ribbon for the
Yep.
rest of this episode.
All
right.
year.
All right. So when we come back, Skagit Speedway. for watching our latest creation from the Stands PNW. So you're probably wondering who's responsible for creating this podcast. Well, that would be Jimmy and Stacy. Who is the guy in front of the microphone all the time? Well, that would be Jimmy. Who's producing our episodes? Well, that will be Jimmy and Stacy. Who am I talking to on the social media side and who's creating all that wonderful social media? Well, that would be Stacy. A special thanks goes out to Top Shelf Galaxy Productions, and of course, a special shout out to Ice by Stacy Media for all the great graphics and animations. So please like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when our latest hits the airwaves. You can find us across all social media platforms at From the Stands PNW. Once again, thank you so much for watching.